What's going on, guys? JaxTown here, and we're about 1 hour away from the Final Four currently as I'm making this video. So this video is just going to be real quick, real brief, unlike the last couple videos. And it's just going to be about who I think is going to win the Final Four and a little bit of a review of how the Cinderellas and potential disappointments I reviewed went. So first of all, we'll start off with that. So all the Cinderella teams, all 6 teams I had, they basically went out in the first round. Okay, so we're going to start off with the 6 potential Cinderella teams I had. So basically I had UCF, Utah State, Murray State, let's see, who else did I have? New Mexico State, and then, well, the other 2, you can go back and look at it. But anyways, I believe none of those teams made it past the first weekend. None of them made it to the Sweet 16, which is my fault because I did a terrible job. But honestly, there were really no surprising teams super surprising. No Cinderella teams, like really low seed Cinderella teams that got to the Final Four or Elite 8. Better luck next year. I don't think they were bad picks. It was just a weird year, not too many upsets unlike last year. And then the potential disappointments, which is I'm really proud about. All 4 of the teams I talked about that were going to be potential disappointments, none of them made it to the Final Four. So this Final Four is kind of unusual. It's kind of a big surprise. I don't think many people had the Final Four correct. So we have number 2 Michigan State playing number 3 Texas Tech. That's the night game. And then the game about in an hour, which is Auburn and Virginia. So all 4 of those teams are kind of surprising. I think the least surprising probably Virginia, maybe Michigan State. But I don't think many people had Texas Tech or Auburn, especially Auburn. So I'm going to give you a quick little projection for each game. So Auburn, Virginia, I would have to say it's going to be a really close game, but they're very different teams. Auburn is a run-and-gun offensive team. That's where they specialize, and then Virginia is a much better defensive team. They have good offense, but that's where they specialize. So it's going to be a good offense versus defense battle. And I think in this one, Auburn's journey continues. I think Auburn pulls off the upset, and they move on to the national championship game because they're hot right now. They haven't lost a game in like 3 weeks, maybe even longer. And their offense is just really hot right now. And Virginia, even though they've gotten to the Final Four, they've played great defensively, but they've been bailed out a few times. They've been in a few nail biters. So like against Oregon, they only won by 3 points. Oregon was a 12 seed. And Purdue, they had that game, but they blew it in the end because Virginia missed that free throw, got the rebound, made the buzzer beater to tie it, and won in overtime. So I think Purdue should have won. They kind of escaped through that one. But then Auburn has beaten really tough teams. They're battle-tested. They beat Kansas. They beat Kentucky. They beat North Carolina. They beat 3 of the probably 5 elite programs in college basketball. So their route has not been easy. That's probably the hardest region to come out of, and Auburn did. So I would say they are kind of close to a Cinderella. They're just hot. They're battle-tested. They've beaten great teams, and they will beat Virginia. Well, at least that's what I think. I could be wrong, because what do I know? But anyways, then Michigan State, Texas Tech is another great game, but this is a defensive game. Both teams are great defensively. I think this is actually going to come down to whose offense does better, and Texas Tech has done a great job, but I think Michigan State will win this game because they're a little more experienced. Their coach, Tom Izzo, been there more, and then Michigan State, they're just more motivated to go far because they kind of were disappointing the last few years, and Texas Tech's never been to the Final Four, less experienced. So I think Michigan State wins. I think Auburn wins. We get Michigan State versus Auburn, and it is yet to be determined who's going to win that. I want to lean towards Michigan State, but I'm not sure. Either team could win that. So Michigan State, Auburn, that's what I say. Let's go enjoy the game. As always, guys, take care.